morning. Y'all, I had a message that came through yesterday that really had me tickled. And it's like one of those things, y'all know, like, it's never the right thing to do, or it's not the best thing to do to retaliate or to get back at someone for something that they've done to you. But we all know that, like, it's tempting. Like, it is so tempting, especially when the universe presents it, so beautifully on your plate. When the universe, like, gift wraps you this opportunity to be able to dish it to someone like they dished it to you. But, like, I'm a believer that if the universe does that, if they, create a situation where they put someone else in your shoes, it is for that person to learn a lesson, but it's for that person to learn a lesson. It's not for you to be able to gloat and to nitpick and pinpoint and make the situation worse. But, I would be lying if I didn't say that we don't sometimes get tempted by that. And the message that came through yesterday really had me tickled, because this is something that I myself am guilty of. Like, especially with this whole, like, spin the block and these people from your past coming back kind of energy that's been happening lately. It is so tempting to want to turn someone down or tell someone no when they try to come back into your life, especially when the reason why they walked away was so not necessarily trivial, but at the same time, like, it was trivial and it was immature. Like, case in point, I'm going to give you a personal example. Matter of fact, I'm going to give a list of personal examples that me and a few like coworkers and even friends have talked about, and just various mixed settings about different scenarios that happen. Like, I had like a group of coworkers, females, this was a group of friends. I'm sorry, a group of coworkers was a different conversation. Y'all excuse my breaks. I literally got in my car and just left. I'm trying to get home. It's raining outside and I want to get home before the rain stops, because I sleep better when it's raining. But anyways, having a conversation with like a group of associates and friends about how, like, and this is a group of women, so we were talking about men, but like I said, the conversation can go either way. But about how people try to what they call spin the block when it's too late, right? So just talking, and like a specific scenario that I'm gonna name. Let's say, for example, like a woman, because we know single motherhood in America, regardless of which community you're from, whatever your cultural background is, single motherhood in America is like at an all-time high, right? Although the younger generation are doing much better about making better choices, and are doing much better about waiting, right? The majority, I'm not talking individual cases, but let's say, for example, someone was a single mother who got pregnant, young, or, late teens, early 20s, and that makes it difficult to date. I'm sorry about my breaks, y'all. That makes it difficult to date. There would be men who will be honest, and I always appreciate honesty, right? So I would always rather have someone tell me that they don't want to date me because of a specific reason than to have someone who's going to lead me on when they know that the relationship won't last long term, right? But just having this conversation with a group of women about how men, decide or choose not to date, or decided at a young age that dating a single mother was too much work and too much responsibility at that young age. They wanted to have fun, they wanted to go out, they wanted to be free. They didn't necessarily want to be tied down. And it's very, very, very understandable. Very understandable, right? Like, you're young. If you don't have kids, you don't necessarily want to be tied down with kids. And I don't think that that's selfish. Some people say that that's selfish. I'm not one of those people, right? But then we talk about how years later, some of these men will come back around. And then, of course, years later, sometimes people end up having kids down the line. So years later, someone gave a specific scenario where they, dated a guy and he really, really liked them, said that he was attracted to them, thought that they were funny, super smart, that literally was their type in every way except for the fact that this person was a single mother. And like I said, understandable. Person was not offended at all. And then we talk about 15 years later, spinning the block and coming back around and wanting to shoot their shot. And, now the person is asking, well, why now? Why me? I'm a single mom. You said you weren't into that. And lo and behold, now this person has a child and is interested because they remember that this person was a loving mother. They remember that this person put their child first. They remember that this person wasn't the type of person to be out in the clubs all night, that this was the type of person who went home and took care of their responsibilities. So now, as a father, as someone who has a child, those qualities are attracted to you. So this person tried to spin the block and come back and wanted to show interest, wanted to date, but the female or the feminine, in this scenario was like, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. At this point, it's 15 years later. At this point, this person's child, is in high school getting ready to graduate. This person only had one child. This person's child is literally in high school about to graduate. And this person is like, I've struggled dating all my adult life because of the fact that I got pregnant at a young age. It made it very difficult for me to date. So now that my child is getting ready to graduate, getting ready to go off to college, I'm going to have a lot more freedom in terms of my personal time. And I really want to take my free time to travel, to date, just to do some things that I didn't get a chance to do. So, not necessarily that this person was offended. I mean, a little bit, I'll say slightly offended, because it's like, when this person was the single parent, you weren't interested in being a single parent. You weren't interested in being a parental role. You felt like it was too much, work. You weren't ready for that, which is fully understandable. But now that the roles have reversed, and now that you're a single parent, you want to spin the block, and now you want this person to be an active step parent, or you want this person to date you knowing that you're looking for something serious, and you want someone who you feel is going to be like a good mother and a good role model to your child. I mean, it's irony at its best, right? But we just sat down and we talked about that. Like, I was the type of person where I had my small group of friends, and that's all I needed. I never really needed a big crowd. I never needed to be liked by lots of people. I never needed for lots of people to know my name. I had my small group of friends, and I was fine. So I dated this guy who literally told me I was boring because I didn't want to go out to the clubs. I didn't want to do that. This person would plan like last minute dates, and I would be like, no, I need more notice than that. This person would be like, oh, I'm gonna take this trip, I want you to come with me, like, and you're leaving when? 2 days from now? Okay, so how much effort and how much time did you put into planning this trip to make sure all of your ducks were in a row, but you want me to drop everything and call out sick from work for a week? So you want me to risk losing my job? Like, I'm not doing that. So I literally had someone tell me that I was boring because I wouldn't just stop everything that I was doing to do whatever they wanted to do whenever they wanted to do it. So like literally this same person comes back into my life last year when we talk about exes trying to come back, and that energy of the I'm hearing like Maya, the case of the ex, the return of the ex. I had an ex to come back, and now that we're significantly older, now that we're more mature, this person wants to settle down, and they're like, oh, I don't want the type of female who's going to be all out and about and doing this. I want a natural. Remember back in the day, I was a plain Jane, right? I was a plain Jane. Now all of a sudden you don't want the women who are spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on bundles and and you know, lashes and all this, you know, piling on the makeup and the fake nails and all this stuff. Now all of a sudden you don't want a woman who's doing all of that. But you remember, like, back in the day, you called me a plain Jane, right? Like, if you don't remember it, let me remind you, because I remember it wholeheartedly. But it tickled me because the message that, like, and y'all, my cutoff game is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And like, I'm like the king of swords in terms of the court cards. You can call me like the king of swords, or you get the king and I'm both the king and the queen of swords. King of swords because I will cut someone off in a heartbeat. Queen of swords because I'm firm in my boundaries, right? And I'm not necessarily saying that's a good thing, but just being honest, that's how I am. But you know, when it comes to like love and relationships, I'm fully aware that I'm the type of person where I get in my own way. It's not like I'm one of those people where I'm like, oh my gosh, why am I not in a relationship? Why don't things work out for me? I am fully aware that like I get in my own way. And that's something that I'm working on. And until I've fully healed from that, there's really no point of me like entertaining anything if I know I'm not healed and I'm just going to end up, you know, running away or leaving another person. I mean, I've done that. I've had someone to actually tell me that, you know, I'm not even going to get into that, but I'm not going to do that. But at the same time, like, the message that came through was literally, you know, you're basically you're going to ruin what spirit is trying to bring into you, or trying to bring in for you, being petty, being spiteful, and you know, doing this tit for tat, you know. And I'm the type of person where I fully, like, I believe in like prayer, you know, and I believe in like talking to your team. And I'm the type of person where, you know, if someone from my past tries to come back and that person did something that I know, like, forgiveness is one thing. I can forgive you. But at the same time, just because I forgive you does not mean that I'm going to want to entertain being in a relationship with you, right? So I'm the type of person where, like, I go to my team, and you know, there's one person in particular who I know they like keep trying to show me this person. This person's been showing up in my dreams, and it's I'm like biting my tongue, not trying not to kind of retaliate. Like, have y'all ever knew you had a dream, you had an inclination, you knew that someone was gonna come back, and like literally you just had your response ready? Like, that's the point that I'm at with this person. Like, when they, like, first of all, they've already friended me on Facebook, you know, tried to like you know, just try to like old posts and stuff. I mean, there's nothing recent for them to like, but you know, just like liking old posts just to kind of show, you know, hey, like, you know, whatever. But I'm the type of person where, depending on who the person is, like, I literally have my response locked and loaded and ready to go, to tell this person absolutely not. But spirit is like telling me, you know, to stop doing that. I just kind of wish, like, okay, I know that spirit wants to bring someone into my life. They've been telling me that for like 2 years. 2 years now. But sometimes I'm just like, spirit, not that person. Like, can we do somebody else? Can we have somebody new? Like, not them. You know what I mean? Like, not them. But then at the same time, like, spirit knows best. Spirit sees what we can't see. I even got a message where spirit was like, sometimes, you know, it's miscommunication. Like, a lot of things are miscommunication. A lot of things may have been misinterpreted. Like, that person may have done something that rubbed you the wrong way, but it may not, what they did may not even have been what they intended to do, or what it looked like they were doing might not even actually have been like what they were doing. It just, all kind of messages came through. Like, I got like someone being arrogant, But then Spirit was like, okay, you might have stopped liking this person, or you might have been turned off because this person came across really arrogant. But it's not that this person is really arrogant. They were just trying to portray that they were like this super confident person in order to get you to like them more. Like, you may have made some kind of comment of, oh, I am like super attracted to like confidence. And this person may have like literally took that and ran with it. I'm hearing like a step or two too far. But Spirit literally just like keeps coming through, and it's like, do not be quick to judge, right? Do not be so quick to want to retaliate. Do not be so quick to like want to turn someone down just because maybe in the past like they may have turned you down, right? Because Spirit is like, this person that you keep walking away from, that keeps shooting their shot and keeps coming back, is actually the person that you're meant to be with, right? But Spirit is like, you have to get out of that Queen of Swords or that King of Swords. This, like, you may even be a Queen of Swords and this person may be the matching King of Swords, or you could be the King of Swords regardless of gender, and this person may be the matching Queen of Swords. And it may just be because one of you has their boundaries. I'm hearing like one of you has your boundaries up super high, whereas the other person is just quick to cut people off left and right. So that's why, like, you guys can never have a meeting of the mind, since the Swords talks about, about like the minds. I'm hearing like you guys couldn't have a meeting of the minds, and you thought it was because you were too different, when in reality, Spirit is like, you guys are actually too much alike. But Spirit is like, this person that keeps for some reason I'm hearing you ain't seen bouncing back, but this person that keeps coming back is actually the person that you're meant to be with. But you're gonna have to like let all of that past hurt and anger go. And I know for a lot of people, especially for those that are like single for a long time, when especially when you've been through like traumatic relationships, where just a lot of things transpired and happened. For some reason I'm hearing like Who the F Did I Marry and The Lies He Told, even though those were like extreme cases. But I'm hearing like when you've been through traumatic relationships, it's really hard. And it's like every time, even if you meet someone new and they come across like Prince Charming, they can do one thing that they do that reminds you of something that your ex did, and next thing you know, your mind is like, oh wait, no, this person is the same. Oh wait, no, all that was an act. And it's like your mind goes right back to trying to overthink and like over rationalize every little thing. But this person, whoever it is, that keeps trying to come back, even if you decide, because I'm a full believer that yes, Spirit has people that they put in our path. Yes, Spirit has people. I know my ancestors are super picky, so I know that there are people who they are like, no ma'am. But then, there are sometimes people where they're like, ooh, like we like this one, and I'm like, no thank you. So it's a difficult struggle trying to find like that happy medium, right? Because I don't know if anybody else had, because like I heard someone say this 3 years ago, where they're like, if you have difficulty dating, sometimes that may be your ancestors may actually be interfering. And I fully believe that like my ancestors interfere with my dating life. Not that they need to, because Lord knows I get in my own way enough. But needless to say, even if this person comes back and wants something new and you're not interested, the message that I'm like trying to relay is, even if you're not interested, even if you've forgiven this person for whatever they did that hurt you, but you're like, even though I forgave them, this is not something that I can forget. Like I can forgive, but I can't forget. And I just can't see myself being with this person after something that they've said or done to me in the past. So even if you decide that this is not the person you want to be with, I'm hearing like sit down and have a conversation and clear the air, because Spirit is saying like that thing that you're so upset about, that thing that you're so hurt about, it's not what you think. I'm hearing Spirit saying it's not even really what you think. And I'm getting something for someone, since we spoke earlier, or I spoke earlier about someone having a child. I'm hearing like if you had a child and the relationship between you and the other parent is very lots of turmoil, lots of, just negativity, lots of arguing, and things didn't work out, and maybe you were left a little bit traumatized about having to be a single parent. I'm getting that like there's more to the story. Like, yeah, you guys may not get along. Yeah, this person may not be there the way that they need to be. But Spirit is saying like it's not what you think. Like there's more to the story, and there's more that happened behind the scenes that you don't know about, and you're just angry based off what you see on the surface, but there's a lot more behind the scenes that you don't know about. So even in that instance, like Spirit is saying like it would be really beneficial for you to sit down. Like the next time someone from your past comes back, you don't necessarily have to get in a relationship with them. You don't have to try to spark something new. But it would be very helpful and very beneficial for you if you just sit down with this person and really, really, really talk about what actually happened. Because Spirit is like, when you find out the truth about what actually happened, it's going to change your outlook on a lot of things. And you're not, it's going to take away a lot of that, the specific reasons why you have boundaries. Spirit is like a lot of that is going to be removed once you have this conversation with this person, right? So y'all, please don't be like me. If someone from your past tries to come back and wants to get together and go out to eat or go out for coffee, do not be like me. Do not sit there with your response ready of exactly what you're going to say and how you're going to say it. Like, I strongly encourage you to go out and have that cup of coffee, and most importantly, just have that conversation, because you really never know what blessings are going to come from that. But anyways, y'all, I'm trying to hurry up and get home because it's starting to lighten up in the rain, and I don't want it to lighten up. I'm hoping it'll rain a little bit harder. I love the thunder and the rain. When I'm trying to sleep, I'm going to sleep like a baby. Even though I did have something I needed to do today. Maybe I'll just do that really quickly. But anyways, y'all, have a great day, and thank you for listening. Bye.